Welcome, everyone. My name is Brenda Selden. I'm an intuitive channeler and energy healer, and this is my channel, The Travelers from the Stars. I welcome you as I share my ongoing experiences and documentation of interdimensional beings I call the Travelers. My adventures began on the weekend of the full moon in October of 2013. I was celebrating the energies of the full moon, doing a shamanic drumming journey in my home, when out of the blue, a voice came into my head, and that voice announced itself to be the Travelers. They explained to me that they came through a portal on the dark side of the moon, and that they were here to help humanity as we evolve and we ready ourselves to leave our planet in the quest to create homeworlds on other planets. And they said that they were here to support us, and they asked me to channel their messages for them. Now, in my line of work, hearing voices in my head is part and parcel of the job description, so that part didn't faze me. And I'm used to communing with my spirit guides, whether they be animal spirit guides, angels, ascended masters, plant spirits, so forth. But for me to connect with an extraterrestrial, this was a first for me. And honestly, it surprised me as well. I was a bit shocked. I felt uncomfortable. And I wasn't sure that I wanted to continue this conversation with them, because they kind of came in and were asking me to channel them and just kind of getting ready to set up shop and go. And meantime, kind of when you meet somebody new and they start to make plans with you and you're like, who the heck are you? So I let them know that I needed time to think about it, to consider it. I need to get to know them, because kind of like when you meet somebody new, you just want to make sure that they are who they're representing themselves to be. And so over the next 8-9 months, intermittently, I would channel their messages and then I would stop. And also during that time, and for another 6 months after that, for close to 2 years, not quite, I had a lot of UAP experiences around my home. And those were the Travelers. And in October of 2017 is when I was led to go outside and begin to take photographs and videos in and around my home. And that's when I started to physically document the Travelers. So I'm an ongoing experiencer since 2013. It's been 8.5 years. And since then, not only have I channeled and transmitted their energies, but I've also worked with what they call their healing light technologies. And I've helped people and places to align and to raise their energetic vibrations so that they can receive healing. So since then, my life has changed a lot, and I've changed a lot. And so even though I've been also sharing their photographs, their videos on social media, really what I wanted to do was to start from the beginning and to share what I've come to know about them in a cohesive, more structured manner. So think about my channel as a book with many chapters, because since 2017, I've accumulated thousands of photographs and hours of videos. And all these photographs and videos have been taken on my cell phone camera. And in a minute, I will be showing some of the earlier ones to you, some from the first year, so you can get an idea. But it's taken me this long to have a little bit more of an understanding of who the travelers are, a little bit about them, their purpose in coming here, what they want us to know, and what I'm seeing in my photographs and videos, understanding what in the photographs, what are the travelers, what are some of the things that I'm seeing in the photographs. I don't know the right words for it in this moment, but the travelers are beings, according to them, that have transcended the need for physical bodies. So they exist solely in energy form. And so all my photographs and videos, what you'll see are shapes, light shapes that look like light in different shapes and in different colors. So let me begin a little bit to start to share. Let's get to the good stuff, shall we? So here we go. As you can see here, I want to make the point in the upper left-hand corner, YT episode 1, YouTube episode 1, Google Photos. This is an album I created from some of my photographs, and I also put in a video. And so the reason I'm showing you that it's from my Google Photos account is to show you that these photographs are exactly as I took them, these photographs in this one video. They are not filtered or photoshopped. Nothing has been done to them. There is no doctoring. And so what you're seeing is exactly what I saw when I took them. So let's begin at the beginning. This is April of 2017, one of the earlier photographs where I realized, whoa, and I said to myself, whoa, what is that? And as you can see, it's looks like an energy beam, cylindrical in shape. This one is small. You can see it's on my driveway. You can see 2 cars. And you can see the energy here. I don't have much experience to this day with the photographs. Honestly, I still take everything on my cell phone camera. I literally point and shoot. I don't necessarily always see the energies. The travelers, being beings of energy, can travel very, very quickly. So sometimes I point and shoot and I'll see something on the screen. Sometimes I'll see it as it flies across the screen. And sometimes if it's standing still, not quite standing still, but just in motion, but in front of me in one spot. For instance, like they're light ships, then I will be able to look around to the backside of my cell phone camera and I will be able to see it there. And I will be showing a light ship sometime soon in the very near future. So this is very common, these beams of light. One thing about the travelers is that 2 things about them, that they are not, their original energy bodies are not here. What they've explained to me is that their dimension and ours are very different in terms of the vibrational energies, the frequencies. I don't know what the right word is, but they've explained to me that it can't be here physically, even in energy form, and that we wouldn't be able to be physically in their dimension either. So what they do is they send through a portal, through a vortex. They send through what they call consciousness containers, which hold holographic replicas of their conscious minds, which they are able to then control and experience our world through that. And so here we see these beams, and these beams could be them being sent through. It could also be their energies. As I mentioned very briefly, they had asked me to in 2017, which was a very pivotal year for me. I know it would seem that extraterrestrials are the most pivotal thing in a year. Contact with them, or not contact, rather contact through documentation and not just hearing them. But that was the year that my husband passed. And at the same time, that was the year that the travelers said they were creating a vortex on my land. And for a number of years after that, for at least 2 years, there was daily documentation of energies like this and other kinds, and also of their light ships. And then that was also the year that they told me that they were going to send through and anchor in energies of their, what they call, or what I ended up calling, healing light technologies. And with these energies, they would help me to channel them. And as I said before, to help people and to help the earth. And the reason why they told me to call it a technology is because even though this looks like light energies, and we're familiar here with the concept of spirit energy and energies of the angels and other healing energies and energies such as Reiki and so forth, that these are spiritual in as much as any being is spiritual, if you would like to think of it that way. But more importantly, these energies, the healing energies, are created by them. We have technology that we create, such as this computer, except that it's made out of metal and minerals and so forth and plastic. And so with their technology, they create everything out of energy. So here again, we see more beams of light. This is my backyard. I live up in the Catskills, and so it's a rural area. On my road in front of my home, there's no street light. This is actually facing toward the back of my property, and there's just woods in the back. So the only lights that you see around my home are floodlight at night or the flash from my cell phone camera. Now, I do use flash. I do have some pictures without flash, and I do have more photographs in the day or dusk, not as many as at night, but I do have both. But I find that it looks better with the flash. You can see more. This again is a tree in my backyard, and you can see the beams coming down kind of at an angle, a little bit of an angle, kind of like, reminds me of, you'll see in the next, you'll see in the following picture. I'll wait to say it then. But this one you can see might remind you of the first photograph where we saw that small cylindrical white energy being around my cars. And I can't say it's the same one, but here I'm in my backyard facing street side. On the left, you can see to the side of the tree, my garage. And you can see here that the energies of the travelers are more curved here. And again, these are all in the first year, just a small sampling. So what I was going to say before that, more apropos for this, is from Star Trek, Beam Me Up, Scotty, or Beam Me Down. You can see here this large beam. And again, I mentioned how there are different colors. You can see the yellowish brown and dark brown here, and you can see a small part of a larger energy that's yellowish color. And you can see the curved energies, the smaller ones, wrapping themselves around the large beam. And so what I can say about this, what I believe, what I understand, is that the beams are from the light ship as the travelers are brought down or taken back up. Or the other thing is that these beams can also, I have some photographs. Again, this is just the first chapter in many. And then I invite you to keep coming back, because this is an 8.5-year journey for me that's still ongoing. And so, well, I'm excited to share everything with you. I definitely will. It definitely can't happen all in the first episode. So I invite you to subscribe and click the bell button so you get notifications. And I'd love to hear from you if you have any thoughts or comments. Also, these beams bring down energies that are of, whether it's for the portal or energies for the healing technologies or other things, they bring down the energies that are not the travelers themselves as well. So here again, I'm in my backyard. You can see my house with the lights on to the left and my garage straight back. And here you can see, let me make it smaller, whoops. You can see the energies that pretty close to my camera in front of me. You see this one is a straight edge, angled edge here, finishing up in a point. Because at the beginning, when I first began to take the photographs, when I was led to take them outside, I wasn't told, yeah, you're going to be taking pictures of us. It was just a strong feeling, start taking pictures at night. And so at the beginning, I really wasn't sure, were these reflections, were these, I know they're not insects, but on many of these nights, it would be raining lightly, and that's why I thought they could be reflections off the water. But obviously, as you saw before with the big beam and with these would have to be a heck of interesting raindrops or reflections to create these. And this is when I started to realize, oh, these are the travelers. Which again, even though I'd been in contact with them since 2013 telepathically, it's one thing to hear them. And then it's another thing then to see the ships flying overhead. And for a couple of years, I would see them off and on at night as I walked my dogs. And I don't have photographs or videos during that time because it wasn't regular enough, like, oh yeah, this is the Tuesday flyover. But it was just regular enough that it would happen. I don't know. I can't say once a month or every couple of weeks. For some reason, that time was a bit of a blur. But walking two pit bulls, it makes it really hard to carry a cell phone camera to be ready to take a photograph. When I started to document them, I tried, and that's how I broke one of my phones. So I will be talking about that time because I do want to describe the ships that I saw and what I experienced, and that I even experienced during that time, what I perceived to have been a portal. So in this photograph is one of the nights of rain. Again, you can see me. You can see that I'm walking in my backyard. It's dark. And I'm going to start this again, slow it down, and also slow it down here at half speed. So you can see here what's coming down, that they already have their shape as they're moving. The rain is still rain when I'm not seeing this with my naked eye. So when I'm outside, I'm getting wet. I'm not seeing the rain itself because it's dark, even with the video light, or I can see it through the beam of the video flash. But basically, you can see that it's not one or two, it's many, it's all. And what I like, the way I understand it, is that the travelers, their dimension, I don't know if I can say exactly overlays ours, but it's not that the travelers are rain or the rain is extraterrestrial. It's just that they use the rain and they use our dimension as a way of appearing, but they're not necessarily physically in our dimension. And maybe out there's a physicist, an astrophysicist who would like to someday come on my channel and we could have a discussion, and somebody much more informed on this topic than I am would like to give their thoughts and opinions on this. But you could see that they're cylinder shapes. You can see that some of them have points and some of them have that brown yellow color, and this is not the only color array. And this goes on for 3 minutes, and it would have gone on longer if I had decided to continue. Now, when you get a picture like this, you really, really know if there was any doubt. You really, really know, okay, this isn't from here for sure. And this is what I believe is an energy that holds the travelers, what I called before their consciousness container. You can see here that there's a disc-shaped orb in here. And so this is what I've seen time and time again. Sometimes there's just one, and sometimes there's many, and there'll be different colors. And here, what you're looking at is my driveway. So let me make this a little bigger. Whoops. You can see here a slightly darker orb in here, the edge of it. And again, what you're seeing here is my driveway, the tree behind. You can see on the ground, these are a ceramic bowl for water for a stray cat that I was feeding. Actually, at that time, there were 3. You can see 3 bowls. And this is just the outside. This is right outside my door. Did I expect this? No. Until recently, since April of 2017, unless I was out of town, unless I wasn't feeling well, I went outside every night to take photographs and videos. Sometimes just for 5 minutes, sometimes 10, sometimes 20. If there was a lot of action going on, then I'd be out there longer. But I never knew if I would get anything. So basically I would stand on my driveway, or I also have a fenced backyard, or again in my backyard, walking around and just stand in different directions, take pictures, take videos. Sometimes, like I said before, I would see the energy flying through the screen, and sometimes it would appear and disappear, and sometimes I wouldn't see anything until I looked back, scrolling back on my photographs or the videos and seeing an energy. So definitely, I can't say that I get these kind of photographs every day, not at all. A lot of my photographs have the energies there, but they're very light. So the photographs that I take that I'm going to show you rather, from the ones I've taken, are the ones that I think are interesting, have information to impart, or show you different aspects of the travelers. And when I saw this, actually, I was looking through the screen of my cell phone, and I actually saw when I first looked at it, I thought, holy cow, it's a comet, or it's a meteor. I'm sorry, I forget the difference. But it appeared quickly on my screen, and then it quickly, just like a flash, like a second, it was there and it wasn't, and I happened to get lucky and was able to photograph it. I've seen a lot of their energies that were just beautiful or really interesting, and they just flew through the screen, flew across the screen so quickly that the shutter of the cell phone camera was just too slow to document it. And I preferred the word document to the word capture it, because honestly, we're not capturing anything. We're not capturing them. They're made out of energy. They're choosing to show themselves. And it's actually one of the things they said to me. They want to be known by humanity. They want to connect to humanity. And so whatever I have that's documented of them, it is because they've done so of their free will, which I really appreciate. And I feel very honored and moved by that. And here is this is another big area where a lot of my photographs take place. And this is in my fenced yard. And you can see this beautiful beam that has this opening through the middle here. You can see the light brown on each side. And I feel that these beams, not sure what they're bringing in or if they're bringing in travelers or energies, but I do feel that this kind of beam, you get the sense of it bringing in. And in and of themselves, apart from the fact that this is documentation of extraterrestrial energies, are also very beautiful. So I just really enjoy looking at them. And not only that, but I also believe as a channeler, an energy healer, I'm very sensitive to energies. I work with them and I feel them. So I can say that when I look at these photographs, when I look at these videos, I can feel the energies of the travelers coming through them. So that they're not just images, they're also what I would consider them to be mini portals for them to travel to as well. And one of the last things I would like to leave you with is a channeling that they shared with me. And they spoke about why they came here. Our name is the Travelers, voyagers throughout the star system. We take on different names at different times as we see fit. We are also known as the void dwellers. Earth is one of our many stops. We have come through your star system many times before to observe the evolutionary progress of your people. We have now decided that we can communicate with you on a level of mutual understanding. We come to you now because you are on the verge of becoming a star-faring people, ready to explore the stars and create new homeworlds on other planets. So that is what they've told me in the past many times over, that their civilization began much as ours, because throughout our history, there might have been times where certain groups, certain individuals might have been pacifists trying to live in a communal, peaceful way. But really, the history of humanity is one of war, of ignorance, of hatred, of divisiveness. And looking at the last few years, we really can't say that this isn't true. This is even more true. And the reason why they've come is that they've told me part of their past history is that they were a very warlike culture where they almost achieved a complete genocide of their species because of all the warring amongst themselves. And so they want to give us hope because they evolved and were able to transcend this period in their history. Actually, not their period. It was very long historical time in their civilization's historical records. And they have transcended that and become a peaceful species whose goal is to support other species who are ready to grow beyond their home worlds, to support them. And they've told me many times that that they believe in us. They believe in humanity. And they honor Mother Earth. They honor our planet and everything that is part of our planet. All the beings that are part of this planet, the plants and the animals and the rivers and the mountains. And they think that we're, as a species, we're special. They like our sense of humor. And so one of the things that they've also come to do is to help us to evolve. And the way they do that is through their healing energies, which, by the way, when I work with their healing energies with someone, the travelers always have me ask them for their permission to receive these energies. And one of the things their energies have the ability to do, their healing technologies, is to awaken what they call dormant gifts in our DNA. And these dormant gifts have a psychic basis to them. So I imagine it has to do with helping us to communicate as they do telepathically, to work with energies and things of that nature. And so I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to thank you again for joining me. Again, my name is Brenda, and I hope you'll come back. And if you did like what you saw, what you heard, and you'd like to know more, please subscribe to my channel, The Travelers from the Stars. And feel free to like, to share, to comment, to ask any questions, share your thoughts, and I will be glad to respond to them.